today I'm going to show you how to get a Nightbot command to display your Valorant RR, your Valorant rank, and your win-loss for the stream, just like I have in my chat. I'm going to try to do this kind of quick, because I know it's probably going to bore a lot of you, so... If you just want the commands and you don't care about the story about how I got it, it'll be in the description down below. Just copy and paste them over. It'll show you how to do it, I guess. So first, this might be a long video. I have no idea. I haven't scripted any of this. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm kind of just going to explain how I made my own, and I think it was a great accomplishment being a programmer, being a comp sci major student. I loved doing it. It was so fun. I had such a blast making these commands. I don't know why. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what they look like. So I'm gonna come over here, come to this. All right. So they're already up. So when you do !rank, it'll say @user. I'mSoBored's current rank is Diamond 3, 77 RR, and then gained plus 18 RR last game. Okay, so the record command is the one that I was really struggling to get down and get working. So technically it's not the stream, but it is the past 24 hours. Right now it says 0-0 because I haven't played Valorant in a while, but I will soon. And I'm down 0 RR, it doesn't matter. All right, let's get into Nightbot. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is go to Nightbot and link your account. It's easy. Make sure that the bot is in your channel. So right up here where mine says part channel, it'll say join channel. Now come over to commands and come to custom. This is the garbage. Actually, rank is pretty simple. Let me show you. All right, so this is the whole code. It's written in JavaScript. That is what Nightbot uses to evaluate. Anyway, I'm gonna explain all of this in probably great detail, probably greater detail than I need to. @user, this is just a Nightbot command. So the @ is actually going to be exported, like typed out into the chat box, just as @, and then user, user is just the name of whoever chatted. So if I chatted, my name's, well, not my name, but I'm so bored. I would say I'm so bored, and then whatever. You have $eval. Eval is saying, okay, everything that comes after this, everything that's inside of these parentheses is going to be evaluated in JavaScript. So it's basically just you're writing code now. Let's take a look at what this means. So after eval, now we can start looking at all of this as JavaScript code. So the first thing is I named all of my variables pretty short names because of the 500 character limit per command. So, or maybe it's 400, I don't know. And this is for rank. So this is kind of the easier one. So we have R equals, in quotes, URL fetch JSON, and then a link. But you can see that the link has NA I'mSoBored 6969 because that is my tag, that is my name, that is my region. Okay, so let's take a look at how I found a link like this. What even is this link? How did I get it? And what does it do? So I used this website. I was looking through all these. I was like, okay, I need to find my rank. I want Diamond 3, whatever it is, my RR, and then the change in my MMR from the last game. So like if I won the last game, plus 18. If I lost the last game, minus 18, something like that. So I was scrolling down, I'm looking at all these, get MMR data. That's what I want. Put in NA, put in my name or my username and my tag. This actually does have white space, so it makes it easier to see. So I'm not actually going to look at the direct link, but this is just to make it easier on your eyes. So data is something that holds all of this. So I need to extract this current tier patched because that says Diamond 3. I need that. And I need ranking in tier, which is 77, and that is the RR out of 100 inside of that rank. And finally, I will need the MMR change to last game. Awful variable name, but it tells you what it is. 18. So if it's positive, it's just going to be 18. If it's negative, it's going to be negative 18. because that's how numbers work. Anyway, back to this. So basically R, this variable here, is equal to all of that JSON text. Okay. So we have a variable G, which is equal to null right now, because we don't really care about that. Well, we do care about it, but we just need to initialize it to nothing, because we don't know what we want it to be yet. So this will be our output variable. At the very end, you can see the very last thing we do in the eval is just G, because that is our output variable that we want to output. G will be the entire string of text that is exported, that is typed into chat and sent in chat, minus the @user, comma. So now we have JSON equals JSON.parse R. This is just a way to get the JSON data into a variable in JavaScript, into a string variable that we can read and manipulate and use. Okay. Now we have rank equals, so this is going to be the actual value of our RR inside of our current tier. So we have JSON dot, now we're looking back at this, and data is this variable that contains all of this. So we need to go, basically, I don't really understand all of this, but so we're going inside of data, inside of a ranking in tier to extract the number that we want, which is our RR. So now rank, so if I do this, rank is equal to, in this case, 77. Okay. Now rank 1 is just a simple name for JSON.current tier patched, and if we look at current tier patched, we have diamond 3. Rank equals diamond 3. That's what we want. M is the MMR change from last game, or to last game in this case. So in this case, let's look, MMR change is 18, M equals 18. This is pretty straightforward, I think, so far. I'm going very in depth, and I'm probably going to cut a bunch of this stuff out, whatever. Now we go back to our string variable, G plus equals, saying whatever we had before, just add this string on. And in this case, nothing, because we initialized it to null. In this case, it's just, this is the beginning of it. Okay. I'm So Bored's current rank is rank 1, which is diamond 3, plus a little dash, plus rank, plus RR. Okay, now this is where I was like, okay, I need an if statement now, because if it's positive, then I want it to say gained, and if my MMR change is negative, then I want it to say lost this much RR. So that's easy. If the MMR change is positive or greater than 0, then G plus equals gained plus however much RR. And in this case, I actually added a plus, so it'll say gained plus 18 RR in this case. It just makes it easier to visualize when you're actually reading the text. Else, if it's negative, lost this much RR. And I accidentally had a dash in there, which I don't need to add the dash on, because a negative number will have the dash no matter what. And when we come to Twitch and we go rank, it should be exactly what we did. Perfect. Now, that was my first challenge. That took about an hour. Record, this bad boy was on a whole nother level. Honestly, it's honestly not that complicated, just because I had zero prior experience with JavaScript, at least, and Nightbot and JSON data. I had no idea what was going on. This was a pain. All right, this is the code for my record command. Yes, Nightbot has a 500 character or 400 character, I think it's 500, some kind of character limit. If I hadn't thought of some way to really shrink down and make this code efficient, then this honestly would not be possible. Because I was getting very stuck. I was like typing in the last string. I was like, it's gonna work, and I'm missing like 2 characters, and I'm like, I've taken out all of the spaces. And then I started renaming these variables to 1-letter names. I started doing a bunch of wacky stuff. Anyway. All right. So it's the same. M is equal to this thing. Now let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at what this code has to say, because it's probably similar to the other one. Like I'm just getting the past like few. Oh my God, that is huge. Yeah. When I saw this one, honestly, I was like, wow, this is a lot of information. I could use a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I could. I don't need a lot of it. And honestly, it's not that complicated. The thing making it really, really hard to read is this images. Images. And it's another little thing. And it's basically what it saves is this whole thing is images, and they're everywhere. They're like, this is what is taking up most of the space here. So I'm gonna go back to this because it's easier to see. I was looking through, I was like, get MMR history. Ooh, last competitive matches. That's what I need. So NA, I'm so bored, 6969, execute. Okay, this is the link that we pasted, or this is the JSON data that comes with that API link. So I was looking through, and I noticed something different than the last one. Data, and then it has a square bracket, which signifies that data is now an array and not an object that just contains of other objects. Not, I guess, a list. I don't know. So data, I got to use arrays. I got to use index of. It was a whole ordeal. So my first challenge was seeing if it's a win or a loss. So let's go back to our code. R is equal to whatever, parse. This turns it into a string that we can manipulate and use and export, really. T is 0. We'll get to that later. H, we don't care about the date. You're like, why is today's date in this code? All of this stuff we don't care about. This stuff we don't care about. This is the code that we care about. Kind of. T is our total MMR change throughout all of the games that we have played in the past 24 hours. So T is 0 here. T plus equals N. What is N? Whew. Well, I had a for loop. I made a for loop. Don't worry about any of the dates. Don't worry about that index of. This is what we want. N equals R dot data, and the only difference here is that it's data for every game we played. Just think about I as every single match that we are checking. So each data index, so index 0, 1, 2, 3, those are all the games, from 0 being the most recent and 17 being the latest, and it can hold up to 20, I think, in that JSON. But we don't have to go back that far because I'm not going to play 17 or 20 games in one stream. So I don't even have to go back that far. I could probably go back 15 to avoid hitting the error of not containing that many. N is storing the current MMR change. And then we go, okay, if this is true, if N is greater than 0, then, oh, I also have to explain this. A equals 0, B equals 0. Just think of A as wins, B as losses. That's all you have to think about. Now we come down here. If N is greater than 0, which means the MMR change was positive, meaning I gained RR for playing that game, that means I won a game. So if it's positive, then A++, which equals A equals A plus 1, basically. Meaning whatever value A is, up it by 1, because now that means you won one. Right? Simple. Now we come in here, T plus equals N. So whatever value T is, which is 0, add to that current value, add the MMR change. So let's say we played one game that was 10. I gained 10, T plus equals N, which is 10, 0 plus 10 equals 10. Now the next game I played was 5. I gained 5. It doesn't matter. T plus equals N. So what is T? 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Now my total MMR change is 15. Now we go to else if P is equal to D. Don't worry about that. You will notice that we don't have N is less than 0, because if it's not greater than 0, it's less than 0, or equal to 0, it doesn't matter. If it's equal to 0, it's a draw, and I'm going to count that as a loss. Actually, if it's a draw, you gain like 2. So it's going to count as a win for me. Whatever. So t plus equals n. So let's say we had 10, we gained 10, and then the next game it's checking, we lost 10, so it cancels out being 0 because it's the total change. And we also see b plus plus, which is, okay, so losses are up because I lost a game, clearly. G, similar to our other one, is our output variable. G is equal to I'm so bored is, and now we go into an if statement of if t is greater than 0, meaning if my total MMR change is positive, meaning I'm up from 24 hours ago, I am up RR. Think about it like that. So now G++, so it's going to say I'm so bored is up. Okay? And else if my total change is negative, then I'm so bored is down. Pretty simple. Now G++, and the only change is up or down, because I don't want to have to rewrite all of this code. I don't want it to say if t is greater than 0, G+ equals up this much RR, because then in down I'm gonna have to say is down this much RR. Again, I had to consolidate all of this. So G+ equals t RR, saying, okay, I'm up. Let's just say I'm up 18. So t is positive, is greater than 0. So G+ equals up. So now it says I'm so bored is up. Now we go 18 RR. He is, now we export wins. So it'll say, let's say I'm 2 and 3. It'll go 2, 3 in the past 24 hours. Exports G. Now, how do I get it in the last 24 hours? This was a whole nother thing. I was like, I don't want it to do all of my matches because that's going to be stupid. I'm going to try to do this part quick. This was the hardest part I had to do. P is equal to new date dot get date. This is equal to, currently it is November 16th. So P equals 16. That's all it does. P equals 16. Whatever the day is of the date. And I'm not worried about the month because it won't matter. H is equal to, right now, H is equal to 11. It is 11:57, so it's about to turn to 12. So if this is a loop, whatever, we went over that. D is a new thing. .r data I date. Now what is that? So we come back to this and we see data for this match, which is index 0. Date equals Monday, August, this. Hey, that's very useful because I can tell when I played the game and if this happened before I started my stream, but it's not really before I started my stream. If this game was more than 24 hours ago, then I won't count it in my win-loss. But if it was within, let's say if it was 10 hours ago, then it will count. So now I'm trying to extract this. I'm trying to extract 8 from this string. So I go d.index of comma, d.index of comma plus 1. The only reason basically this whole thing means get the index of the second comma. So not the comma here, but the comma here. That equals s. Now d equals d dot substring. So s equals, sometimes s changes a lot, but let's just say s equals 16. Here, s minus 2, saying from this index, index 16, go back 2, because it could be a 2-digit number. Go back 2 and get those 2 values. That's what I want, dot substring. So now d equals 8 in this case. If it was 11, we went over n. Now we say, okay, it gets crazy because not only do I have to check if the days are equal. You might be saying, why did I get hours here? That doesn't make any sense. It's because I realized that this date is not to Eastern time. It's not to Central time. It's not to any time. It's to the global time, which is plus 0 hours. I was like, okay, now I have to convert my time, my time, to global time. And the way I did that is I said, okay, if H, which is our hours, so let's say H is greater than 19, that would mean I'm at 7 p.m. If it's greater than 7 p.m., then the global time will already be in a new day. So if it's November 16th, 7 p.m., global time, it would be November 17th, 0. If the hour is currently above 19, and I'm just double checking, and D, which is the date, which is the date of the game played. Let's say it's 17 right now. Then D equals number. I had to convert D to a number, not a string value, -1. Do you get that? I get it. Oh my God, now I can simplify this by literally saying D equals P instead of -1. Just set it equal to P. That is even, I just found that, so that's concise. D equals P. Now, if P is equal to D, meaning if the dates are the same and the MMR is greater than, it'll do this. So this is saying if the dates are the same, and if it's not, then it doesn't do anything. So it's going to check all 17, but only like the first 5 will really be checked. And you can see now why when I do it, it says, when I do record, it says I'm down RR, I'm 0 and 0, because you can see that the date was August 8th, 8 is not equal to 16, so it's not doing anything really. Anyway, that is a long ass tangent. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's perfect. So if anyone watched all of this, I will be surprised. I'm not sure how long the video is. I've been recording for 35 minutes, and I'll probably edit a lot of that stuff out that you just don't need to hear, but I'm going to have I think I'm going to make a Google Doc and put it in the description, and you guys can use it. I'll kind of very briefly explain everything. Maybe not explain everything, just put it in. Because I do have to say some stuff on the document that you have to know. Anyway, check it out. If you like this video, please give me a like, and subscribe. I post Valorant content. I don't usually make coding content and stuff, but if you like the coding content, I'm happy to make more. Give me suggestions. I don't really know what to do anymore. I can do like last maps. I can do total damage within the last 24 hours. That'd be fun. Or like total headshots, or like headshot percentage. That'd be fire. That'd be so fun. Yeah, let me know what you want. That's about it. Links in the description. Subscribe. See ya.